Okay, so this video is simply to give kind of an overview of some of the things you can do with Google Drive. This is for those of you who are new to Google Drive or maybe have only used it to create documents, Google Docs, that's it. So when you come into your Google Drive, you click on this triangle, whether you get there from your Google page, if you're using Google, you see mine is right here because I frequently access it, or if you go into this waffle and you choose it from here, or you're using a different browser altogether, however you get there, when you get there, you're going to land on your Drive page. And it should look similar to mine. So I have quick access. These are the things that I've either recently been working on, or sometimes Google likes to tell me, you open this document at about this time every week or every day, and so it'll display it up here for me. Makes it easy. You know, I mean, it's kind of freaky that it's reading my mind, but you know, it's also easy, so they kind of balance each other out. So these are the most recent ones that I've had open. In fact, I still have open one of them. Okay. And then you can see that I have lots of other folders as well, and that here is our course folder. So for me to do anything for this course, the first thing I'm going to do is open up this folder. And as you can see, I have a whole bunch of other folders because that's the way my brain works. Everything is in color-coded file folders. And if you're getting the idea that I'm like some type A organizational freak, don't. Because really, the folders in my brain are kind of scattered all over the place. Kind of like the stuff in my office right now, which thankfully you can't see. Google is nice because it kind of puts them in a nice little order for me. So I have my different folders. I have my week folder, so we're in week 2. So I have the week 2 agenda. I also have the other documents that I've created for you. What you get, of course, is the agenda with the links to the other documents and presentations. My thought was it would just be easier for you to have to keep track of one thing than having to remember which document has which thing that you need for which other thing you have to do. So I put it all into one document for you. It also kind of makes it easy for me to see exactly what I have given you and what I haven't. So I don't need 2 of those open. So here's something that, you know, some of you may be wondering, okay, I have a folder, now what do I do with it? How do I get these things in my folder? Well, if you have your folder open, you can just come up to this plus sign where it says new here. If you click on that, you have some options. A new folder, if you feel like you need to organize things in folders. A file upload, so this is if you like to do your work actually in Word, or if you have a Mac like I do and you like to use Pages, you can upload files from your computer, from your desktop, your hard drive, into your Google folder. So for example, I could click on that and then I could choose one of these files. If I wanted to choose to put like the Project 1 intro video in as a separate file, I could do that. I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I could, and I would just have to double click it, and mine says open, yours might say something different, but whatever it is, it will then move it into this folder. I could add an entire folder. If I had a folder, say one of the folders that's on my desktop, and I wanted all of that stuff to go into this folder, I could upload that entire folder if I wanted to. But if I want to create something, usually I'm going to create a Google Docs. Sometimes I'm going to create a slideshow. And then there are other options as well, maybe a form, use drawings, maps. Unfortunately, I can't use Google Sites unless they've changed that recently, which I don't want to be disappointed, so I'm not going to click on it right now. And then Jamboard that I mentioned in the Project One video, and then you can connect other apps as well, probably. I can't, well, there are some I can, but GRCC doesn't like to give us control over too many things because we might make a mess of it or something. So anyway, if I want a new document, I just have to click on Docs, and I have a new document. And then I can type in a title. Once I have whatever title I want here, I just have to click there. So if I want to say test document, don't make fun of my typing. Well, go ahead and make fun of my typing. I can't type. I admit that. So then I've typed test document and I want that to be the title of my document, so I just have to click there and it just puts it in there for me. I tell you, this reading my mind stuff, it's a little scary, but it balances it out by being easy. Alright, so then you have some tools you can work with. You can undo and redo. You can print. You can spell check. You can paint format. I've never done that on here because I've never wanted to, but you can do it. You can change the size of what you're looking at. So if you want that test document to be really big as you're viewing it without changing the font size, you can make it 200% if you want to. Or if you need to see more of the text at once, you can change that as well. You have styles, so you can change your styles there if you want to. You have lots of font choices, and you can add more fonts, you can find them. You can change the size of your font. For some reason 11 is the default, but most MLA and APA work requires size 12, so you might have to change that if you have strict guidelines. Here's your bold, italic, underline. Here's where you can change your text color. Here's where you can change your highlighter. You can insert links here on using this, or I know that on a Mac, Command K will do the same thing. I don't know if Control K works on a Windows computer. You can add your comment. You can do stuff with images. You can change the alignment, so left justified, centered, right justified, full justified. You can change the spacing. It's set at 1.15 is the default. If you need a double space for things, if you need to add spaces before or after a paragraph, do custom spacing. You can select the way you want your numbered lists to look. You can select your bullet point formats, and then if you click on this, you've got a few more options. So you can decrease and increase indents, and you can clear all of your formatting just with that right there. Okay. So those are your basic options, and they are basic. So if you compare that to Word, you're not getting all of the fancy themes and things that you might be used to. And really that's okay. This is a bare bones, it's free. It does what is needed for most things. And then you can play around with these menus to see what other options you have. And then the good thing about Google Docs is you don't have to mess with saving it. It saves automatically, so I can just click out of that. Oops, whatever that was, I didn't mean to, but I did. And then you can see that it's right here. And I'd only typed test document, so that's all that shows there. If I had typed more, it would look more like one of these. Okay? And then since I don't need that document, I can right click on it and I can remove it and it goes away. When I want to share documents, so say when I wanted to add the link for Project One document into your weekly agenda, I come up here to the share button. And right now it's set that anyone with the link can access it. You don't have to sign in. I have other options for sharing. So I can share it with specific people if I want to. So I can just type your name, your email address in. That's how I shared your collaborative folders with you, is I just typed the group members' names in, and it populated with their addresses, and I was able to type a little message, and then I was done. With the link sharing, anyone with the link can view right now is what it is, because I made the mistake of giving people editing access before, and well, they put all kinds of strange things into the documents. So this, I don't ever want my work to be public on the web because that's just not necessary. But if I want to share it with anyone in my classes, I have to choose anyone with the link. If you want to share things with me, so if you wanted to share a document directly with me, you would have to choose anyone with the link. And that has to do with the way the email is set up, that the student email is a separate domain from the faculty and staff email. So don't worry about that. I couldn't select Grand Rapids Community College and give you access because it just wouldn't work that way. And then specific people, I just told you, you can type in their email addresses. So, and then can view, can edit, can comment. So can view is when you're sharing with, like I do a lot of these assignments and agendas and things where I don't want you to go in and edit it, just because I need it to stay with the things that I put in it. But I could, if I wanted to, give you commenting privileges, and then you could add comments in if you wanted to, but even that's a little weird sometimes. And then can edit. This is what's best for collaborative work, is the can edit, so that everyone can work on the same document. And then the can comment would be best if you were sharing, say, a paper that you wanted feedback on, but you didn't want people making changes to the text of your paper. They would just be able to add comments in. But note that if you are working in a shared folder, everyone who is invited to share and to collaborate on that folder has full editing privileges to anything that's in that folder. Okay. And then, because I was talking about that, I forgot to tell you that when you're ready to share, so get shareable links. So when you set all your settings and everything, you want to make sure you copy the link after you've set all your settings, and then click done. So then what I did to make these hyperlinks is I just highlighted this, and then I did my Command K for insert link, and I pasted the link in. So this is actually for the YouTube video. For that document that we just looked at, it's this one here. You can see that it's that shared document right there. So I just highlighted the word. I hit Command K, or you can use the link button here, insert link, and then I pasted the link in. You have to use the Command V to paste in, and then you're done with that. So that's a way to share a link. Yeah. Let's see. Another useful tool you have on the side, you have a Google Calendar button. You have Google Keep. This is a really handy tool. Okay. This is where you can make yourself a little to-do list. You can take notes on something, notes for a meeting. You can give it a title. So I had a bunch, you can see 16 completed items. So I had these things that I've been working on this week and last week just for this class. And I've been able to check those off. And right now it's clear, although there will be more added in tomorrow. So, yeah. And I think you can create multiple lists, but I'm not sure about that because I just started using this last week once I realized how it worked and how useful it would be. And then there is a task list that you can somehow use to keep track of tasks and things, but the keep list was kind of handy for me, so I haven't looked at this yet. I'll let you look at it on your own. Alright, so basically that's how Google works. There's not really a lot else that you need to worry about. These things are, the shareable link. This is where you can share with a person. This is a preview of a document, so I like to have the previews there. This is where you can trash things. You can set up your settings here for that. If you need help, you can use the help button. But it's pretty straightforward, and you shouldn't have too much trouble figuring things out. But of course, if you do run into trouble, just let me know. I'll be glad to help you out as much as I can. There we go.